There's a moment when you become a mother and you realize you've entered something you could never fully understand from the outside. It's like joining a club that no one can really explain to you beforehand. You think you get it, you've seen it, you've been around it, you may have even judged it, and then you're in it, and suddenly everything looks different. You stop judging the small things, the noise, the chaos, the mess, because now you understand what it takes to just get through a day. And the only thing left to judge is harm, neglect, abuse. Because once you feel it from the inside, you realize how sacred this role actually is. Motherhood is primal. It's not just something you do. It's something your entire being reorganizes around. You tear yourself open, physically, emotionally, mentally, to bring a life into the world. And then you're responsible for it, not just keeping it alive, but shaping a human being. And no one really prepares you for the weight of that. Because while you're holding this tiny, perfect person, you're also holding all of your own unprocessed parts. Your anger, your impatience, your triggers. And you start to see them in real time. Not as abstract ideas, but as reactions. Moments where you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, dysregulated, pushed to your edge. And there's this quiet fear underneath it all. Am I messing them up? Because maybe you weren't taught how to sit with your own emotions. Maybe you weren't shown what regulated love looks like. So now, you're learning. While teaching, growing, while guiding. And it's messy. So messy. But then something incredible happens. You start to see them. Not just your baby, but a person. They begin to mirror you. In the smallest, most unexpected ways. You watch them hug their stuffed animals with this softness, this gentleness, and you realize they're learning love from you. They start to show their personality, little glimpses of who they are, what they like, how they move through the world. And it feels wondrous and strange, like you're witnessing something ancient and brand new at the same time. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, you start asking another question. Could I do this again? Could I go through pregnancy again? Birth again? Postpartum again? Could my body handle it? Could my mind handle it? And it's such a strange question because there's a life hanging in the balance there, a person who may or may not exist, depending on your answer. But it doesn't feel that way because you don't know them yet. They're not real to you in the same way your child is. But then you think about it differently. If you had known your child before they were here, if you had been given the choice, you would have said yes in a heartbeat. You would do it all again, without hesitation, just to make sure they existed. I would carry my daughter again. I would give birth again. I would go through all of it again, just to ensure she's here. And yes, I'm it's not lost on me that the visuals of this one of me repeatedly dying over and over again is maybe in its own way a metaphor of motherhood. But anyway, and that realization makes the question feel heavier and softer at the same time. Motherhood is full of contradictions. You lose parts of yourself, the version of you that could move freely, think only about yourself, exist without constant responsibility. She changes, and there's grief in that. A quiet mourning for who you were, even if you love who you're becoming. You step into a new identity while letting go of an old one. And sometimes there's resentment towards your partner, who can leave the house without thinking twice, who can drive alone, go to work, exist in a world that still feels familiar, while your world has completely transformed. And yet, you find yourself doing something unexpected. You're away from your baby, maybe they're sleeping, maybe you finally have a moment to yourself. And what do? You scroll through pictures of them, videos, rewatching moments you just lived, missing them while they're in the next room. It doesn't make logical sense, but it's real. It's thankless. No one is applauding you for the daily things you do, the patience, the effort, the constant showing up. And yet, it's beautiful in a way that's hard to explain. Because this journey, it stretches you, it breaks you open, and asks you to rebuild. It forces you to grow in ways you can't avoid. There's no opting out of the internal work, because everything you are is reflected back to you. And somehow, through all of it, it becomes the most rewarding thing you've ever done. Not because it's easy, but because it's real, because it matters. Because you're not just raising a child, you're becoming someone new alongside them. And maybe that's what motherhood really is. Not just creating a life, but being reshaped by it over and over again into something deeper, something softer, something stronger, all at once.